This week's seam finish will be flat felt seams.
Okay, and this week for you folks is a flat fell seam. Now there's many variations of a flat fell seam, but they are very useful in that they are highly durable and they evenly distribute stress across the seam. So you're less likely to tear out a seam if it has a flat fell finish to it. Now I'm going to show you a traditional flat fell today rather than like a false flat fell or one of the many other variations there are. Now the other useful thing that a flat fell is good for is that they are reversible. So if you want something that will be a reversible garment, or perhaps is not going to be lined, but you want something that's a little bit fancier way of finishing it, a flat fell is a great choice. Now flat fells are not for heavyweight fabrics. As you see here, I have a mid-weight trigger-like fabric here that I'm going to be my example for you. But flat fells are about the heaviest you ever want to go with a flat fell is a lightweight denim. Anything more than that and it's way too bulky, and odds are your machine won't like you for trying to shove it through there. Now for a flat fell, you start with your wrong sides of your fabric together, not your right sides, which is what is traditionally done. And what you do is you want a 5/8 seam allowance. For you metric folks, that's about 15 millimeters, which is a bit of a larger seam allowance, but you really do need that wiggle room for getting everything taken care of. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just stitch a straight line. Now again, I tend to use a 2 millimeter stitch length for this sort of thing. That tends to be my most standard stitch length for mid-weight cottons. And now I'm going to show you what is next. So, and again, here's our bottom. What you're going to do is on this top fabric, this should be trimmed down, if it's not already straight, should be trimmed down to about somewhere between 3/8 and 5/8 is the amount of wiggle room you have. But on your bottom fabric, you should be trimming that down to less than 1/4 of an inch. I tend to try to go for about 1/8 of an inch, just so you know what I'm doing here. And the downside of flat fells is they are very time consuming, especially to do them correctly. But they will give you a very beautiful finish. Okay, now you will open this out. So you have your little guy over here and your longer guy here. You will press this all to one side, and of course ideally you would be doing this with an iron, but I didn't bring I didn't set up my iron for this today, unfortunately. So it's all pressed to one side. Then this larger piece here gets curled under and around the smaller piece. And again, this is where you would press it. I'm just going to finger press it for you. So you have this nice crisp seam, and on the outside it's very clean like that. Now you will take this, it's rolled over like this, and you will stitch it again. Sorry about that. I'll make Coda fix that in editing. Alright, so you have it all set, and again, just one little straight stitch. You want to keep that straight stitch really close to that fold on the fabric, as close as you can comfortably get. Usually I'm within 1/16 of an inch of that fold. But you do not want to go off the fabric. Always, of course, keep that in mind. Okay, and so on one side, you're going to look like this, where you have two straight stitches here with your little fold right there. And on the other side, you'll have just one line of stitching with your fold there. And that's a flat felt. Again, like I said, highly durable. However, it's not very useful in curves, which it's just not. It's hard to make the fabric roll the way you want it to. But for any seam that gets a lot of stress, this is definitely your friend.